Ένα-δύο.
Good afternoon to all of you, esteemed guests. We're very happy to have all of you today. And it's an amazing opportunity, I think, for all of us to celebrate entrepreneurship and innovation in Cyprus through the graduation ceremony for the Microsoft for Startups program. 11 startups have been selected early this year from a large number of applications received to receive training, mentoring, and guidance from our 11 innovation partners. The companies you can see there that are decorating our beautiful center, the Startup Center powered by Microsoft. And during these 4 months, the journey was amazing for our 11 startups. They learned about entrepreneurship concepts, validation, marketing, sales, how to advertise your company through tech journalists, how to approach investors, how to pitch your idea, and many, many other interesting topics through our training and the mentoring that you have provided. We would like to thank the innovation partners. I don't want to mention each company separately, but I think maybe Dr. Pieris Kouridis, the Dean of the School of Business of the European University Cyprus, would like now to also welcome you all to our event. And I hope you enjoy the presentations from our startups. And also, if we have time, you can ask questions and give your feedback to them. I think this will be valuable to them. Thank you all for coming.
It is a pleasure to welcome you in our university. Dear Rector, distinguished guests, today is a milestone. 365 days ago, I was fighting in the next building, in the next office, about this special day. How we can make the ecosystem of Cyprus, the startup ecosystem, in a different way. And we managed to do it with all of you, with all our partners. A big thank you, and a big thank you to Microsoft for the support. And I have to announce that having discussion yesterday with Microsoft, they support us for the years to come. Also, we opened the call for September, and hopefully your engagement is something that you are going to appreciate, and we are going to appreciate as well. Today is not for us. It's for those entrepreneurs, those innovators, that the last 6 months, they've been listening to you, to the partners, about your experience. We learn about the failures, they learn about the success, and the hard way, how you transfer your idea, not in the paper, but actually in the real world. And today you will see the results. In the business school, we are working on results. And just a couple of hours ago, we have a task of a new master in data analytics, in accounting and finance. We've done it. This year, today, we have this outcome, to have 11 successful startups. We've done it. So next year, our aim is for 12, and we'll do it, okay? Thank you again to all innovation partners, all the innovators. Today is the journey that belongs to you. We just contribute to the milestones of your life. The partners, they contribute to a bigger milestone. As a university, the doors will be open for you at any given time. The space here is free for you for any promotion events. And we want to thank you once again for your support. Your support is much, much appreciated from the leadership of the university. Our rector is here, the directors here from the operations, and thank you again for being with us. Thank you very much.
We're very honored today to have with us through online meeting, because they are both abroad, the Chief Scientist of Cyprus, of the Republic of Cyprus, Dr. Nikolas Mastrogiannopoulos, and Mrs. Stavriana Kofteros, the Vice Chairwoman of the Board of Directors of the Research Innovation Foundation, and a member of the Innovation Committee of the European Innovation Council. If we are ready, yes, we can see both of them. Stavriana and Nicolas, thank you both for including us in your very busy schedule, in your business trip, and we really appreciate this. To have very useful input, tips, suggestions, based on your own long-term experience with innovation, entrepreneurs, and startups, and to give really useful information to our 11 startups on how we believe they should go about the whole journey. It is great to have you with us.
Absolutely. Alex, you can hear you as well.
We can hear you very well.
Thank you. So sorry for not being able to be there with you to this impeccable event. Congratulations to everybody. You, Dr. Pieris, obviously a lot of work was done, and we praise that. We share the same dream, as you know, to make the ecosystem big and powerful. So from our side, obviously we have to travel abroad sometimes, you know, create the necessary visibility for our partners, your partners in line with us. So yeah, glad to be with you and discuss. So with me, obviously, as Stavriana, Bonsoir, and we will have a free discussion. I think we don't have a moderator, so we'll have a free discussion. So from our side, from the government point of view, we are solely committed. Obviously, we have a clear strategy. We have communicated that many times. But in a nutshell, obviously, we are investing heavily in innovation at the moment. During the last couple of years, I mean, slowly, from our side, we believe that we have created the necessary tools. We have established the necessary tools in order to help our entrepreneurs and our startup grow and scale. So it's clear the vision, impact investment, impact deliverables at the end of the day. In a nutshell, we have a clear strategy. We will invest in 5 pillars. We will invest in research, obviously, create the knowledge necessary to be used for the creation of innovation. Without research, there's no innovation. So one pillar is investing in research. The next pillar is obviously something we're lacking as a country, is investing in collaboration. The collaboration between academia, industry, bring those two together. So the industry would provide the mission, the private sector would provide the mission. They have knowledge of the market. So create the bridge with academia. Academia can provide the knowledge and the technology at early stages, and our entrepreneurs, that are the ones with always with their passion, good passion above all else, is something always on our textbooks, right? So clearly, we are trying to invest also in this collaboration. As a third pillar, obviously, continue to support our startups and our innovation companies through seed funding, scale-up funding. We understand it's difficult at the beginning to bring an idea closer to the market and to create products and services of impact is a long journey, as you said before. So we have to provide the necessary capital at the beginning. The lack of high-risk capital is there, so we understand that. We'll provide the funding, but obviously, a successful company cannot only stand and build a business plan on governmental funds and grants. As you already know, entrepreneurs should go out, talk to investors, be more visible, create the extraordinary experience for themselves that will bring private money in order for them to be more sustainable and have something in place. So that's our strategy, internationalize our event. We're there for our entrepreneurs in order to create missions that go abroad to other countries, collaborate on an international level in order to make everything happen on an international level rather than be more extroverts rather than introverts and make success only within the boundaries of our country. So I don't know, Stavriana, you want to jump in and make?
Absolutely. Thank you, Nicolas. Hi, guys. Hi, everybody. Bonsoir from Paris. And to pick it up exactly where Nicolas left, we're here in Paris at the Bibliothèque, and we were talking in the morning to investors about impact investing, and especially about what we're doing in Cyprus. And now to the 11, welcome. Congratulations for your graduation. You're entering this arena of impact and creating impact for the country, for yourselves, and hopefully for Europe. Well, not just hopefully, it's part of the plan. So even though I would say congrats to the 11, let me tell you one thing. By next year, most of you, about 9 of you will be dead, which is okay, right? Pivot, do something else. You've entered this arena, now you graduated, and it's pretty much similar like graduating high school or graduating university, and then you go into the real world. And the real startup world is pretty tough. So, do's and don'ts. It doesn't matter if it's European money, if it's national money at the rate, if it's investor money. When you try to attempt to raise money from all this, yes, investor money is based RIF money from RIF is grants, so there's no equity, no dilution. EIC is both, it's blended. It could be equity only, it could be grant and equity. What you will notice are some similarities. Number one, there's no such thing as free money, in a way, or a free lunch, as they say. And I'll explain what that means. What you will notice between investors, the innovation programs of RIF and EIC, is that they look pretty similar. Well, it's on purpose, because when EIC started doing the EIC Accelerator, they got investors on their panels because they wanted that outlook. They wanted to bring them in at a later stage. So they're trying to crowd them in, but to crowd them in, they have to know what they're looking for. So they have them on the panels judging and deciding who gets to be funded. The innovation programs of RIF that Nicolas mentioned are modeled after EIC because the whole idea is to fill the market gap as far as investment is concerned in the early stages, but to prepare startups for the real world. And in the real world, if you want to scale, you need fuel. You need kerosene in order to launch your startup and really grow in a scalable manner. And hopefully, why not become a unicorn? And to do that, you need investor money, big tickets. And so to achieve that, you need to be ready. You need to be investable. So what do you need? It's, of course, just like raising, whether you're pitching to EIC or RIF or anybody, it's about creating impact. By impact, we don't just mean have a good vision. We also mean it in financial terms, because investors, when they put the money, it's like getting married, but with a planned divorce with a good return. They get in to get out with financial returns. You need to, therefore, what do? You need to know your markets very well. Be the best in knowing your market, not just knowing it's 100 billion, the total addressable market, because you cannot touch 100 billion when you're a 1-year-old startup from Cyprus or from anywhere in the world, even if you are in Silicon Valley. You need to know what's the addressable market and what are your go-to-market steps. Where do you start? You piloted Cyprus. What's the next step? Are you going to Israel? Are you going to Greece? How are you going there? Who are you talking to? Who are your partners? Who are you going to, the corporates you're going to work with? Every little thing in detail. Know your competition, direct and indirect. And no, there's no such thing as no competition. In any space you are, there's always competition. If there's no competition, forget it. Investors are scared. Competition is validation. There is competition. What you do not want is a competitor that does exactly the same thing that you do in exactly the same way. But there's always competition. You need to make sure that you validate your problem, what you think is a problem, 100% sure that the market thinks it's a problem. You validate the solution that you thought of, that it is actually a solution for that problem, and make it a unique one, because that will start giving you the unique selling points. And start validating now the interesting stuff, willingness to pay, because you hear a lot of discussion about traction. You're 5 months old, right? Just a 5-month-old startup, and you just started and you start validating a bit of your ideas and your problem, etc. How do you get traction? You're going to ask me, right? And so any way you can. Traction is a pilot users. Traction are users. Traction are paying pilot users, even better, because that starts convincing your investor or the RIF panels or EIC. And remember one thing, your best investor is always a paying customer. Have a complementary team, and that's the essence at the heart of every startup. A complementary team, though, right? Well-motivated complementary team. And by motivated, I don't only mean just believe in the vision. I mean have stock options and have that clear out. Have shareholders agreements. Even though now you love each other and everything is fantastic, believe me, there's a lot of ups and downs in a startup life, and there will be times where you will feel you're having very strong arguments where things are not going to be well, and you need to have everything sorted out, because it will get better. And when investors look at that, they need to know that if for whatever reason you hit a hard place, you have ways of figuring it out. It's not going to explode in their face. You're asking them to trust you, so they need to be convinced they can trust you. Have clear IPR ownership. If it's a patent or whatever it is, just have clear IPR ownership. And by clear, I mean the startup needs to own it. the founders, the startups. That's the entity that's asking for money, basically. And whatever you do, it's a fun journey. I think you've realized through your journey at this amazing program that you're graduating from today, you're entering the Cypriot ecosystem that is growing, very dynamic. And Nicolas here mentioned the strategy is not about the strategy. The strategy is here to enable you and steer you, as you mentioned in the morning at Vivatech, is to facilitate and enable what you're doing. And what you're doing should be relentless and never stop. So keep going.
Yeah, we're just the evangelists of what you're doing. So obviously, without you, we're just, words. So at the end of the day, we'll try to help you listen what you have to say, collaborate with you against any challenge. That's what we're trying to do. Set up some tools for you, like for example, the technology transfer office. We're trying to set up, launch soon. It will help you with the IP support. It will get to technology marketing, etc., project management, create the necessary visibility with investors. The Cyprus Equity Fund soon will be announced in February. We're engaging with our first step, the milestone, which is going forward with a fund manager, collaboration with the European Investment Fund. So the tools are there. We are here for you. We're just evangelists. You will be longer than us in the game. So you're important to us. Hopefully, we're important to you. Congratulations. Lovely number, the 11. I love 11. So, because it's not only number one, 2 times number one. So, congratulations to everybody.
Thank you both for very, very useful feedback. I'm not sure if you can see me. Yes, you can. So I have a question for you. I know you're in between meetings, so I don't want to delay you guys. So the question is, we saw the announcement by the Research and Innovation Fund of the pre-seed, seed, and innovation grants that relate to startup and innovative companies early this year. And the deadline was after 2 or 3 months. Can you tell us a bit of when you're expecting to have these calls announced again for our startups? Will it be next year? So they expect them maybe next year, early next year? Do you have any kind of clear understanding of the time frames?
Something we're lacking before Celia is the fact that, there was not a calendar-based, programs, right? So, yes, continuation was something that we were lacking. We were announcing programs and then, we disappear. We're not actually following that strategy of failure. Obviously, continuation is something embedded in our strategy and something for long that will be there for our entrepreneurs. Obviously, more are coming and is scheduled to become.
Excellent. And I think the announcement you made today, Nicolas, about the Cyprus Equity Fund is something that a lot of companies and startups have been waiting for many years now. It's a great development for our country, and we would love to hear more about it once you find the fund manager and how this will be implemented in practice. I would like to thank both of you for your excellent involvement in today's session, in today's ceremony, and I wish you all the best to both of you. Thank you for coming.
Thank you very much. Hopefully we are going to see some of our people here in Vivatech next year, competing with the big boys. We're bigger than them if we put our passion into place.
Yes,
Thank
exactly.
you, Celia.
Thank you both, Stavriana and Nicolas, and enjoy Paris, France. I'm not sure if it's Paris, but enjoy France. Thank you, guys.
Cyprus. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye. So, with no further ado, because I think we're all here for the same reason, we want to hear the startups themselves, the 11 startups, present their products, their solutions, and how this program, the Microsoft for Startup program, has helped them progress and achieve better chances of commercialization and better chances of success. We want to start now with our first startup, which is 2050 Materials. And I invite Stefanos to the floor. Stefanos, we start. We have the presentation ready, right? Stefanos, we have given to all startups 4 minutes. Sorry, Stefanos. We have given to all the startups 4 minutes so that it's not too long and it's not tiring for everyone watching today, and also that you can get a good idea of what the startup is about. Stefanos, the floor is yours.
Thank you, Zilia. Okay. Hi, everyone. My name is Stefanos. I'm one of the co-founders of 2050 Materials, and I'm excited to be here today. 2050 Materials is a digital material library and platform for automated, low-carbon building design. Our team includes 8 individuals, and they combine experience from the construction sector, from the ESG space, and also from software. With regards to the co-founding team, I'm responsible for partnerships and business development. Fanos, our CEO, is mainly responsible for the product, and Chandra is leading the development operations and the software side. So why did we choose this domain? The construction sector today lacks a cost-efficient workflow to deliver low-carbon buildings. Firstly, construction companies are committing to deliver Paris-aligned or circular or net zero projects, while they have no end-to-end tools to translate those targets into actual design practice. Thirdly, sustainable design and materials procurement are decoupled. What this means is that what architects design for is quite often not achievable in reality. I won't get into too much detail on this slide, but what we're trying to portray here is the high complexity in the decision-making process within the construction sector. There is so much back and forth between different stakeholders that quite often what this leads is to much higher than anticipated costs and also huge delays on construction projects. So how does 2050 Materials solve this problem? Through the platform, we leverage data to enable the execution of low-carbon buildings within budget and on time. The users can log in onto the platform, they can create their own project, they can set targets and requirements, and also outline their constraints, and they can then get optimized design configurations at the theoretical level to meet those targets. Then, through our algorithm, they can match the optimal design configuration they've selected with applicable products. What this means is that they can actually design something that can be achieved in a real-life scenario. With regards to our timeline, we've been running a closed beta for the last 4 months with 20 large architectural offices with projects across the UK and Europe. And last month, we opened up our beta to the public, where we've seen a large user growth. We actually have 500 users that are actively using the platform today, primarily architects and structural engineering designers. Our MVP was developed in a lean approach by continuously integrating industry and user feedback, and today the users can discover products, they can understand the product data, which they would have otherwise been unable to do so without being specialists, and they can optimize the impact of their selections. At the same time, they can communicate with manufacturers, and manufacturers can engage with new and existing clients. Currently, we're working on a project workflow feature, which is a new feature we'll be releasing that enables the users to create their project and manage the whole project lifecycle through all design stages, all the way to the procurement and specification process. These are just some reactions we received from some industry leaders we work with when we released our beta publicly, which was quite exciting and motivating to see after so many months of hard work. We've been very lucky to have been selected to take part in the Microsoft for Startups program, and we identified 3 key value takeaways as part of this process. Firstly, we received very important advice on business development and sales strategies, as well as on the operations aspect of our business. We've also been connected to some key players within the Cypriot startup ecosystem, as well as construction companies operating within the sector in Cyprus. And lastly, and probably most importantly, we heard some very important lessons learned from other successful founders, and particularly for the stage that we are at right now, where we released our MVP, we iterated based on the early adopter feedback, and now we're preparing and optimizing our product to go out to the market and to real users, to users more widely. As for the next steps, if you're interested in learning about our funding plans, I would love to talk to you after the ceremony. And if you come from the construction space, I would be, again, very interested in having a conversation about exploring ways about how we can help each other. Thank you, and if you would like to try out the platform, you can use the link or the QR code on the top right corner, but otherwise, thank you, and I look forward to meeting you later at the cocktail. Thank you.
The cocktail. Thank you so much. We will have the opportunity for all of you to ask questions or give feedback and comments to all the 11 startups once we finish with their presentations. So we continue now with AG Connect Dev Limited and George Geragiodis. George, the floor is yours.
Hi, everybody. I'm George Geragiodis. Together with my brother Alexis Geragiodis, we are founders of Connect Dev. Our population target is somewhere around 70 million deaf people. The problem is the unfair disadvantage regarding education, employment, social inclusion, and access to mainstream technology. The solution is to utilize the utilization of specialized technology adapted to the unique needs of deaf users. How to utilize them? Provide inclusive communication methods that are up to date with accessibility requirements, and provide assisted digital support. Some of our offerings is the sign language keyboard, which is a sign language keyboard. It's provided in 13 different sign languages. It can be used on mobile devices or on websites, sign language interpreter services, and sign language QR videos. This method, we basically use it to provide inclusive communication in print scenarios. And the accessibility widget, which is an add-on for a website, which accommodates in a more broader view disabilities, different kinds, not only for deaf people. Our future plans are to expand the use of our products in other countries, introduce more sign languages. There's roughly somewhere around 300 sign languages. Each country has a different sign language. Cyprus and Greece are different. Then we would like to go on to inclusive social media. We get so much information through social media, and we would like to find a way to share this information in methods that would be helpful for them also. We would like to create more services and products, provide inclusive education, teach them in an inclusive way, teach them Photoshop, teach them Illustrator, and hopefully down the line, provide them jobs. The benefits of this program. All trainings were very helpful. The mentorship was also very helpful in terms of showing us a different way of thinking, how to approach a problem, even a solution, and how to present it. So I'd like to take a moment here to thank them. It was not you, it was Dimitris and Michalis. They were very, very helpful. As a company, we believe that together we can achieve more. These are some of our partners and associates. Our needs, resources, business development and advertising, development resources, operational expenses. As for collaborators, we would like to collaborate with associations for the deaf on an international or national level, public or even private sector. As a company, we were founded in 2017. We have 7 publications under us because we do believe in accurate data. We have received more than 136,000 euros in funding. We've been awarded 5 times, and we have 3 apps. Thank you.
Great. So we continue with Sibe. Where is Sibe? Come. We have Andreas with us, and we look forward to hearing.
Hello, I'm Andreas Georgiou, and our startup is the Cyprus Institute of Professional Education, for short CIPE, and we'll share 5 elements of it with you. It's the first asynchronous interactive institute in Cyprus. It's online 24/7, no pre-recorded videos, and it features interactive courses that are made by Cypriot teachers and professors. Its courses are custom-made, designed from scratch, and constantly updated. The link itself is cpe.com.cy. It uses the latest technology. It has a strong social media presence. It uses a strong, the latest integrations, webhooks, and the servers. And I think it's one of the first companies in Cyprus to use and utilize the secure DNS and DKM certification and SSL technology. One of the leading courses that it features is the course that people buy to pass the government examinations in Cyprus that take place every year. It's one of the most popular courses. It also features a white label institute that businesses and other big companies use to feature their e-learning courses. For example, they can put their own company as a subdomain, and the main domain can be used for CIPE. We have a strong presence in all the major social networks such as Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, and Instagram. And we are very accessible. We are online 24/7. We have instant chat technology, and we have a very high-tech CRM platform. We have about 16,000 Cypriot students currently registered in the institute. All of them are Cypriots, and we're now expanding in Greece. We track most of our, as I said, we track those 16,000 customers via Pixel, CRM, Google Analytics, and we retarget past customers via Google retargeting ads and advanced email marketing. And we used a lot of technologies to bring together a high-quality user experience. Thank you very much for your time.
So our startups are even faster than the 4 minutes, which is great for you guys because it's more efficient like this. So the next one is Vasos and Christiana with the startup idea CyberSec IoT. Christiana is presenting, Vaso? Okay, great.
So hi, I'm Christiana, and with Dr. Vasos Vasilios, we have created CyberSec IoT, an artificial intelligence security solution for the Internet of Things. Now, the Internet of Things is everywhere. We see devices, cell phones, machines, gadgets, now connected to the Internet. It is actually projected that by 2030, there will be 125 billion devices used. Now, connecting all these devices to the Internet also increases the risk of an attack. Actually, last year, in the first 6 months, we had 1.5 billion attacks for that, on the IoT. So both smart homes and industries were greatly affected by those. CyberSec IoT monitors the IoT system, including the end devices and the connectivity, and captures the data and gives an overall state of the whole system, including the devices, but also the connectivity traffic. Using artificial intelligence techniques, we are able to analyze and detect existing or upcoming problems. And we rely on the logic of anomaly detection. That is, we are trying to see abnormalities that will indicate the problem. Now, abnormalities are not easy to detect. We are actually using 4 machine learning techniques, and we are able to detect misconfigurations, anomalies, attacks, and so forth. Now, CyberSec IoT is unique since it focuses on the behavioral IT-specific protocols. It has fast breach detection, and we have detection accuracy more than 96%. It can be integrated with the existing IoT platforms and offered as a service. It can also be provided through the internet service provider as a consumer service, as a central entity, a security entity. It can also be natively incorporated in the device or in the industrial applications. We are targeting IoT platform vendors. The market is not consolidating. There are currently 620 more IoT platform vendors, but it is expected that the market will grow up to approximately 75 billion by 2023. Now, CyberSec is offered as a business-to-business software as a service module for security analytics within the IoT platforms, and this helps the IoT platforms to offer better services and gain market share. We are also currently preparing a large-scale pilot in which we will showcase and how we can be part of a cloud-based IT platforms. And through the Microsoft program, we are going to apply for the Microsoft Cloud Enable CE&D that would allow us to create a pilot within the Microsoft and continue finding the customers. The two of us have been working for the last 10 years. We have more than 30 years of experience, and we feel that the time has come to transfer this accumulated knowledge to the market in the form of CyberSec IoT. Thank you.
Exactly on time. So we continue with our next presenter, Savas and Fornelia, and it's very interesting because we will actually see the product as well, right? Yes. You want to bring it with you now? So you have it close by?
Ready.
He's ready. Thank you, Savas.
Hopefully with some space, right?
Next time. Have another event with the stakes. Not today.
So my name is Savas, and I would like to present you Fornelia Limited. Fornelia produces high-efficiency, affordable parabolic craft solar ovens. An estimate of 3 billion people worldwide use solid fuels for cooking that have negative consequences to the climate change. Gathering and burning solid fuels leads to heavy emissions of CO2, other toxic gases that kill 4 million people every year, according to the WHO. Deforestation through collecting wood is another issue. Waste of valuable time by women and children. The current energy crisis concerns us all. Pollution is not an illusion. Sunshine is an abundant energy source. Over 80% of the world's population lives in areas colored on this map as red and yellow. About 30% of this population has sun all year long. Current energy crisis all over the world is a great problem. Fornelia solar ovens collect solar energy via a trough parabolic mirror. We use high-quality materials for a long lifespan, aluminum profile structure, proprietary molds. We have different sizes using same profiles. Easy to use, stable sat-tracking base. We have two models for the moment, the Mini Open and the XXL. For the moment, we are ready for mass production of the two main models, working on a new model using an oil and sun for thermal transfer and storage. We have sold more than 300 in Cyprus, France, Greece, and other countries. We have contacts with investors from France, Italy, and Senegal, and we are registered as a vendor with United Nations. The main competition is Gosan, an American company, but with products with less performance. There are several others with different designs with very poor performances. For the large size Fornelia XXL, there is no known competition. We aim to design, can and prepare the materials of the solar ovens at our factory in Cyprus. For wholesale trade, we aim to cooperate with local partners in strategically chosen countries for feeding local assembly lines with flat pack packages. For the local and international online retail customers, we have ready built and tested units that are going to be shipped directly from our factory. We are ready to share with investors up to 25% after professional evaluation of our company. To overcome the market demand, we need another 10 people in our manufacturing line actually. Attending the Microsoft for Startups program has been a great opportunity for us to meet with high-level professionals leading to new marketing strategies, manufacturing and costing procedures, evaluation of our market share, and hopefully to get in contact with investors. Our implementation team is myself, Savas Harixenofontos, my son Alexandros, and a production assistant, Petros Kyriakou. We aim to alleviate climate change through redefining clean cooking, and our slogan is zero running costs, zero emissions, zero premature deaths. Thank you very much.
Thank you so much.
Maybe later. Yes,
yes. The intention is to actually test the quality of the product, Sava, on the 27th of June, when we have our last session all together. So this is an invitation for you. We're already on the 6th presentation. Our next presenter is Simos Redalis with Kinems.
Hi, I'm Simos. I'm the Chief Scientific Officer of Kinems. I'm a university professor specialized in the design of interactive learning games. And with my co-founder, Michael, my business partner and good friend, we started this journey of Kinems. And I know Michael for 20 years. He used to be my university student. And since then, we have one vision: to try help children thrive. You, me, all of us want children to thrive, not only academically, but emotionally, physically, and also cognitively. But it is sad to know that the recent and the latest research from the European Statistics Office say that only 30% of young children meet the expectations to have holistic development. This is sad, right? And OECD, the World Bank, say that we should attack early. We should try to invest in young children in an inclusive environment. What we need is actually what is called whole child approach. Not only focus on schools and only math, language, etc., but also social emotional learning, physical education, cognitive skills, all these that will help children strengthen their well-being. So what Kinems is doing? We are attacking this problem with a unique and innovative solution. So we have created an educational gaming platform for whole child development in an inclusive classroom environment. So children are working at the same time their physical skills, their cognitive skills or executive functions, but also the academic skills, because we are talking about schools. And how we are doing that? With one platform and multiple modalities. So using any technology that exists in a classroom, children can work, teachers can set up activities on interactive board, can set up personalized learning activities on tablets or PCs. Children and students can download printables of the games in order to work with paper and pencil, because they have to generalize their activities. But one of the unique features is they can play with their body naturally. Using AI and machine learning and a typical webcam, children can solve math equations or any other equation, for example, math here, by midline crossing, grasping, and using their body, without any holding, any sensor, any wearable. So we have a platform of 35 games, continuously evolving, more than 400 activities, and the idea is exactly what we are promising, to help children improve their cognitive, academic skills, and physical wellness, but also support the remote instruction. Because as COVID, we had to support all these remotely. On the other hand, we have the teachers. The teachers need to effectively use any technology that they have. And lately, they have invested a lot in technology in classroom and at schools. But also, we want data about the progress, data that can be shared with the parents, because they need to know how well the children are doing. So our target market is general education, but also special education. So we have two different sectors, mainly from pre-K, because we want to start early intervention, and customers are elementary and kindergarten elementary skills, but also we have a separate platform for special education, for special schools, and also centers. And we speak 3 languages, English, Greek, and Spanish. And we are happy to work with universities, not yet with a European university, but still to show that it is an evidence-based practice. And we have research studies that show that they have high positive impact on children. And I'm glad to share that thanks to Microsoft and also thanks to Ministry of Education, we have run one of the biggest research studies here in Cyprus with the Cyprus University of Technology. Now, we mainly focus on US. We are doubling the schools this year, and thanks to Microsoft program, this for startups, we are thinking of, it will help us expand also in Cyprus as well. We are more than glad to work with a series of very specialists in general education, education technologies, investors, advisors, but I'm very proud to work with the former Secretary of the United States for Special Education, because we care about inclusion. So if you like KINEMS, just join the movement.
Thank you so much. I have to tell you, my daughter used KINEMS in kindergarten last year, and she loved it, and the teachers also loved it, so it's already well tested and tried. So next one is Alexis Onofriou with MyCity. I haven't pronounced it right? MyCity, yeah.
Can I use this? Or?
Yes, you can. Yep. We prefer you to stand here because of the live. Where we have a live in YouTube and Facebook, so that's why we're using the microphone.
Okay.
Thank you, Alex.
So, hi everyone. I'm Alexis. I'm a qualified chartered accountant, and for more than 10 years, I've been specializing in the niche market of corporate meetings and incentive travel. In 2021, I also won a scholarship at Le Roche in Switzerland for their Master in Digital Innovation in Tourism by presenting the idea I present today. Throughout my experience, I came to the conclusion that the industry still uses primitive and outdated processes. What I mean by this is that we still use middle agencies, at least 2, as we can see in the diagram, and this results in high middleman reliance with high cost and inefficient communication, to say the least. Our solution is an all-in-one platform, an intuitive platform, and one-stop shop where the end client, the corporate client, will be able to plan, manage, and handle their event globally. Our value proposition includes decreasing the cost of organizing an event abroad for a company to at least 15 to 20%, improving communication processes, and offering different and various perks when it comes to event management. The market size, based on a recent research that was conducted during COVID, is expected to continue to grow by 2030. As we can see, there is already a direct competition coming mainly from startups and not historic companies in the field. And this gives us two conclusions. The positive one is that our assumption seems to be validated, while the challenge is that we need to compete with already established startups with unicorn status and global operations already. Of course, there are other solutions that aim to maintain the traditional model of maintaining the middleman, and our aim is to combine the best of both worlds into our solution. Our business model is simple. It follows a similar pattern and philosophy as Airbnb, with charging a service fee on the total event services, while there are many other opportunities arising for additional revenue streams. My co-founder, Artyom Skylarov, used to be a professor at La Roche. He's Estonian, he's based in the United States, and for more than 20 years, he's specializing in providing solutions for the tourism industry, and to name a few, Marriott and Hard Rock hotels. Our financial forecast, in a nutshell, it shows that there is room for growth and expansion, and our vision is to become the synonym of Airbnb and Booking.com when it comes to the planning of corporate events. With regards to our funding, our seed funding, and what we're looking for, we will be able to have a chat outside if anyone needed, but our focus is to be able to expand into 10 key destinations and, of course, promote our solution into key marketing fairs globally. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Alexiou. So we continue with Andreas Damalis with Modi. Christos will be presenting. Okay, you've changed it. No, we did together. You did together? So, improvisation.
Yeah, it's always good to plan these last minute things.
Yeah, but you're very good at presentations, so I don't have any concerns about both of you.
Thanks, Iliam. And before we start, a big thanks to the Microsoft for Startups program and all involved. It has been an incredible journey for us over the last 6 months, and it has allowed us as a company, as a project, to review our business development, our governance, and come out of it much, much stronger. So a big thanks to all involved. Introducing myself, my name is Christos. I am one of the co-founders of the project we're going to talk about today, Sophia, and my background is in UK government reform. Our dream behind Sophia is to bring the best possible professional development system to the professions, industries, and people that we're going to be targeting, particularly in African countries. And today I've got with me my co-founder and full-time CEO of the company, Andreas. Andreas comes from an entrepreneurial background in Zambia and recently moved to Cyprus. And we don't have, unfortunately, with us today, due to family commitments, our other co-founder, Joanna, who comes from an advertising background, also in Africa, predominantly South Africa. Andreas, over to you.
So thank you very much. As Christos said, our project is called Sophia. And what is Sophia? So the professional online training industry is fragmented at the moment. There's different solutions for different people in the process. Some solutions target the learners, the consumer, the individual. Others are trying to target the needs of employers. We call them LMSs. Others are trying to target the needs of stakeholders, regulators. What we've done is we've looked at all the best parts of all of these things and innovatively combined them into one system. So at heart, Sophia is a professional development platform that many individuals, employers, stakeholders, and trainers, the people that create content, can create profiles and participate in a unique ecosystem, which we call Sophia. But in order to keep people engaged, we've taken learnings from the social media industry and created great networking and data service functionalities. so that you keep people coming back to you. The Sophia platform, the technology, is always deployed by industry vertical. So it allows us to customize the content and the journeys and the communities to be very relevant. So Sophia for Finance is training of people in the financial services sector. Sophia for Schools is training teachers. Sophia for Legal, legal. But each one is its own vertical. There are, of course, pivots, like you've seen here, where we could try to get our technology to be more academic for university use, for example, with students. But we're trying to stay away from that now so we can focus. Our formula is very simple. Business, have a very strong backbone, a back office. Good corporate governance, good admin, good finance, good planning, in order to support many Sophia applications that I'm talking about. And in this part here, the formula is basically technology, which we own and have developed. We partner with subject matter experts for each application, usually a university. And then we take it to market. As Christo had mentioned, we have particular interest in certain regions. So I'm not going to go too deep, but these are the sub-formulas for each thing. I think the highlight is that we do both asynchronous and synchronous learning on our platform. I should look here. We allow stakeholders to accredit content online within the environment. We have networking recruitment. In terms of content, we have very few trainers that we've partnered with, and we try to introduce them to secondary trainers, people in the target regions we are at. We look for short and micro content, things people can do quickly. In terms of commercialization, we are particularly interested in the 4 industries: advertising, legal, finance, and schools. We are particularly interested in the Southeast African market, MENA, not the GCC countries at this stage, and the Balkan region, which we feel are underserviced and will continue to be underserviced until 2025. We are following a very B2B strategy, targeting the employers and through them the many learners, and focusing on the private sector, particularly SMEs that don't have legacy systems, that don't have entrenched systems at the beginning. And we do this through direct sales. In order to recruit on board, we try to look for agents in countries in order to help us with boots on the ground and strong online presence. Why? The data is clear. In all of the regions that we've identified, there are severe issues of skills mismatches or skill deficiencies. So there's obviously a need for training. This is particularly so in SMEs that represent the bulk of the employers in all 3 regions that we are interested in. The industries are selected due to either them being regulated by CPD requirements or because they have an impact issue, for example, schools. And why now? The new normal. The new normal doesn't mean more of the normal. People are looking for a unified, simple solution that does all of the needs in one place. The market that we're looking at is going to be around 1.9 billion by 2025, and we only want 0.96% of that. Why us? We're at TRL 6. We've already done a 6-month testing process with 8 countries, over 500 users. We are now proceeding to do final development so that we can go commercial in January 2023. We've partnered in one of our applications for schools with a UK institution, and we're looking for partners in other places. Lastly, how did Microsoft help us? Great guides, great ideas, and lots of potential for collaboration between what we do and what you guys do. And we've already started talking in many areas. I'm interested in the data guys particularly. And it's helped us to structure and get a better idea of our business plan. Thank you very much.
Thank you. So, next one is Kyriaki Markou with MyFound.
Hello, everyone. In the US, 50% of furniture sales in 2019 were made by its top 100 retailers. What separates them from the rest is that they have e-commerce capability and they have a sophisticated presence online, with augmented reality, customizations, and 3D imaging. This is justified because statistics show that the top product that people want to buy through AR is furniture. Also, it is projected that in less than 5 years, 35 to 50% of SME home retailers will be out of business. So our solution is a multi-vendor marketplace app that where consumers can have a try before you buy experience through AR and video content. As a SaaS, it addresses brick and mortar furnishing retailers to sell their products through AR and videos. The benefits for consumers is that they can try products remotely, so no amount of miles can separate them from the product they want to buy. They don't need to physically visit stores, and it eliminates any doubt they might have of buying a product online. The benefits for retailers is that it breaks the limitation of time and space, it decreases the returns online, and increases sales and customer engagement. Our product is on beta version, and we plan to develop a product-led growth strategy for B2B. We want to offer a freemium model, so customers will have access to the product earlier in the buying process, videos to walk new customers through how everything works, and product tours to point out the important features and help them achieve their first tasks. For B2C, pre-launch, we want to create anticipation through social media and content marketing, use influencers to spread the word of something new coming. And on launch and consideration phase, we want to use performance and programmatic advertising and develop an influencers campaign and social media to keep awareness up. I am the founder. My name is Kyriaki Markou. I have studied business and I have experience in sales, marketing, and banking. Softweb is implementing the technical part of the project. They are located in Greece and they have a strategic partner network in 7 countries. Irini is a marketing and strategic development specialist, and she has a rich experience in international startups such as TaxiBeat, Smarter Chains, and Flanschhol. The Microsoft for Startups program has helped me to meet people with expertise in the industry and improve my entrepreneurial skills in terms of leadership, team development, and learn new techniques related to sales and marketing. Financials. We are looking for a 12-month financing of 242K to reach 306 stores and 1,500 users. Our projected revenues on year 1 are around 50K, and on year 5, 1.5 million. Thank you for listening.
Thank you, Kyriaki. 2 more to go. So let's invite Sergio, my ID. Thank you, Sergio.
Hello, everybody. So let's start with my ID. And immediately we will start with the problem. Who is this person? And it's not about only his name or email, it's more sophisticated. Is he employed or a student? Where he is living? Is he insured? And many more information which is usually required in order to establish a regulated and secure business relationship with him. In today's situation, we have that some issuer gives paper, plastic documents to the client, and client takes it and presents it in some way to the service provider, and service provider spends resources and time in order to validate the integrity of this data according to their internal policy, and in the end, all this costs money. And let's not forget, the user usually repeats similar steps multiple times. So, in this way, we come up with the 4 answers. What's the most painful in KYC procedure? Of course, it's time, cost, high impact on conversion, and privacy factor. solution which we come up is decentralized self-certain identity platform developed by us, where we come up with a different approach and giving opportunity to verifier to check integrity of the data using blockchain and cryptography technologies. And of course, an option for a user to reuse the verified data and making his sign-up journey much more comfortable and trustable. In this way, following companies already validated our idea, and we are in process to establish a business relationship with them. As for example, in Republic of Moldova, we are working with the government to give them on a project which will allow them to issue a digital identity of the citizens, driving license, and the logbook of the car. As well, a university, state university, which will allow them a student card and diplomas. Business model for us, of course, is B2C and with the freemium model, and B2B with the SaaS, where the business will be able to operate with verifiable data, and on top of that, using additional services like for KYC procedures, like face recognition, liveness check, and ID document processing. Our expansion strategy mostly is going to Romania with the same set of products which we have now in the Republic of Moldova. In Cyprus, focusing on fintech sector, and Emirates with health tech. Our roadmap looks like by the end of this year, we are expecting to add additional services of e-signature, and by the end of next year, we hope we target to reach 200,000 active users in the wallet. Our team is an IT geeks passionate about fintech sector with a huge experience in developing solutions in finance, blockchain, CRM, and other networks. Thanks to Microsoft Startup Program, we learned how to drive more stronger the startup, and most likely got a connection with the CMP, which currently we are working on a concept where the clients will be able to be on board according to KYC procedures, our solution, and as well offering a client ID to there, where they will be able to use this client ID to authenticate in the client area without username and password. We are looking for investment which will help us to grow and expand faster in the mentioned directions, and as well to improve our product. Thank you very much. I hope I was
Last but not least, we have with us Jad and Gerard. Jad is presenting Analytics.
Yeah, hello everyone. So I'll be presenting to you the company that we created during the pandemic, which is called Analytics. Analytics basically takes the data, any sort of data that's being collected in an organization or a company, and it transforms it into something that is user-friendly, that can be analyzed easily. Where did the name come from? So the name comes, first of all, from the R, the statistical language that we use. We use a lot of statistical languages to convert this data that you collect into something that is readable. Second, we run. So we will give you your dashboard based on the data you have within 2 weeks. If we don't, you get your product for free. The third thing is we convert the random data into something meaningful. The fourth thing is analytics. So we digest all this big data that you have, the massive data that you've been collecting, into something that is user-friendly. And last but not least, we use Microsoft Power BI to translate all of this data. And basically, what we're doing with Microsoft Power BI is we're presenting an affordable solution to small and medium-sized enterprises. Now, let me go quickly through the data, because every day we hear data, 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 data. Let's make it very simple. Every one of us collects data or sends data through our mobile, when we go through the internet, on a website where we fill a form, or an organization takes it into an ERP, or a university fills it in a CRM. So we're collecting data. Then data is stored in a warehouse, and this is where we come in. We extract this data, we clean it, and then we make calculations and visualizations based on the industry needs. So if it's a university, for example, we take a retention rate or any type of KPIs that are used. And then we make an automated report that is customized to the needs of the industry, that is user interactive, dynamic, directly linked to the database, in order to give the end users the flexibility to analyze this data. Out of statistics, 80% of the organization time is spent on point 3, 4, and 5. This is where we come in to save this time so that more time can be spent on analyzing the data. The workflow. You have any type of data warehouse that you collect on the cloud, on premises, in SQL, in any form of data that's being collected. We take it, we develop a dashboard for you on a Power BI desktop. Then it goes into a Power BI service that is connected through the gateways of the Microsoft and through an engine that we created that's called the Grinder in order to simplify the connection between your database and our platform. And at the end, we give you the access to these beautiful dashboards that you will be receiving based on your business. I will show you a screenshot. Usually the dashboards are dynamic. You can play around, click on some samples. This is just a sample of one of the dashboards that we did for a call center. If you are interested, we can show you more later on. Where we are today. So in the life cycle of a startup, there is the introduction stage where sales are low, the costs are high, there's no profit. I'm pretty sure that these guys would understand what I'm talking about. The second step is increasing sales, reducing cost, and making some profit. The third step is maturity, consistent sales, reduced cost, and increasing profits. And the last stage, unfortunately, we will have to decline and reinvent ourselves again. Analytics is actually where you're seeing it today. It's called the death valley of a startup. And we are actually getting out of this death valley, and we are hoping that with more and more persistence and consistency, we will be able to get out of the stage. Behind Analytics are two people. It's myself. I founded the company during the pandemic, and it was established in Cyprus. And Gerard, who is a director, who has more than 40 years of experience in the ERP and the database development. I have studied multimedia, which helped me to give a more user-friendly interface, and I also did a master's in finance. The Microsoft program. First of all, thank you everybody for this opportunity, and thank you for Celia as well for organizing and orchestrating all of this. We wouldn't have made it that far probably without you. It had rounded and sharpened our knowledge into how to take the startup forward. That was something ambiguous for us. And the second thank you, I would like to thank Mr. Petros Andreou for all the guidance and the mentorship that you have given us, and also a potential acquisition that was never probably something we would have thought of, and helped us around our experience in the field. Last but not least, enjoy the journey and visit our website if you'd like us to show you more about our product. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Jad. It's really encouraging and nice to see that what we're doing here all together as a team really helps these people in developing their startups, in developing new skills and their entrepreneurial mindset. And I think we all agree that it really feels nice to contribute in this way in developing our entrepreneurial and startup ecosystem of Cyprus, even by contributing to a very small extent. We have finished with the presentations. We have really tried to keep the whole event short and nice so that it's not, tiring for you. I know that we are all very busy people, and I really appreciate the time you have spent in coaching and mentoring these people. I think it was obvious that you have really spent time with them, and because I know a lot of you personally, I know how hectic your everyday schedule is, and this means a lot to the startups, to the founders, to us, to the European University that is organizing and hosting the whole program. The whole idea is to continue with the second cycle of this program in September. We have a lot of new ideas on how we can enhance the program further, new trainings, new target groups, even university students with new business ideas at the concept stage, not at the more mature stage, that all the startups, as you have seen, have been selected now, that have been mature startups with prototypes and validation of their ideas. And now we have 10, 15 minutes before we go out for our cocktail. We have a lovely dinner organized for you, so I hope you can all stay. If you have any comments, any questions for our startups, we would love to hear them. The event is broadcasted live through YouTube and Facebook. So the idea is for more people to be able to watch our startups and maybe help them with investing, with business angels, and with collaborators. And I think a lot of the companies here today have seen the collaboration aspect as well. I want to mention our innovation partners, and thank you again. So we have BSM Cyprus, we have CNP Cyprus, SIDA, ExxonMobil, EY Cyprus, GNOMI, Integrated Communications, our company Grand Expert Consulting, Hellenic Bank, IMH Business, Logicom Distribution, NetU, New Tech Business Solutions, and KEVE, the Cyprus Chamber of Commerce and Industry. We would like to thank you all for the time you have invested, for really putting an effort and a lot of your time in making the first cycle of the Microsoft for Startup program a great success. And I think we all are going to be watching these startups very closely, and we will be very happy if we hear great news about their development and that they have made it through successfully. So do we have any questions, any comments for our startups? Pani, I know you have a question. So no question? Any comment? I know you want to invite them, all the startups, to a big event. Do you want to come here and tell us about it? Konstantinos has a microphone.
Thanks. Hi, I'm Panis Piri. No, very well. Well done. Some small maybe suggestions for next year. I believe the events that you did with Argyris and the other guys, you need to make more events like
You are right.
Again, another suggestion is now that you have the live, maybe you can cut every startup and you can upload in social media after.
Yes, that's a great suggestion. So yeah, that people
they
can
will
view.
be able to go and find the pitch of each startup.
You're right. Tell us a bit about the big event you're organizing in Limassol for startups of Cyprus.
This month we're launching Startup 364. It will be an early and global media on early stage startups from Europe, Africa, Middle East, and Asia. We're doing the first beta version launch, and we'd like to invite all of them. We're planning an event on 30th of July with people, investors from Cyprus, abroad, the region, etc.
Excellent. So you will send us the invitation, and we will be forwarding this to all the startups. Any comments, any questions before we conclude our graduation ceremony and we all go for our cocktail? Of course, you will have the chance to talk directly with the startups during our cocktail party, and if you have interesting ideas of how we can how you can collaborate with them, with your own company, I think this will be of value to all of them. We are concluding the program not today, but on the 27th of June. We have a session on how to utilize Cypriot and EU funds for startups. And these are some of the ones referred to by Dr. Nikolas Mastrogiannopoulos and Stavriana Gofteros. And we will also be introducing them Gravity Investors and Acceleration Program, because you can have a continuation of the work you have already done here with some of the incubation programs we have here in Cyprus, which are very successful. And hopefully Savas will create a really nice lunch for all of us. So, of course, you are all invited to come, and we want to try anything you want. Excellent. So this is finalized, guys. The event is happening here, not online. So keep a note of that. And you are all invited on the 27th. I can send you an invitation formally through email. Gerimo, do you want to say some concluding remarks as the mind behind the whole program? Who started this?
Normally the academics, when they start, they don't stop. Okay. A big thank you, Siliamu. Okay, thank you. To you and to Stephanie. I have to say that in front of everybody. I want to thank Microsoft via Paris. Thank you. Although the idea started with George from Logicom. I have to mention some names that actually make these things, this dream, to come here. The only thing I can conclude, the business school works in one triple helix: economy, university, and society. The society, the economy, and the university. We are here to work together. As those you are engineer, I'm engineer in the background. The push, the thrust of that triple helix forward you to come the business of tomorrow. Thank you, the business of today. Welcome to the real world. We do our best. All the best. Thank you.